Yeah, we're outside Senator Mike Round's office. This is one of several meetings that Tulsi Gabbard is expected to take. And literally any moment now, we're going to be keeping our eye on that elevator because she's going to be coming through here and meeting with Senator Rounds. You talk about the Syria situation. That is going to be absolutely relevant here today. In fact, very likely the biggest liability for her potentially. Back in 2017, she took that very controversial visit and actually met with Bashar Al Assad when he was still in power there. And then when she came back to the United States, sort of defended not only him, but also something to the effect that denied what the American intelligence services said, which is that Assad had been behind a chemical weapons attack on his own people. Over 50 years of Assad rule, him and his father, hundreds of thousands of Syrians had been killed, had been brutally repressed in the country. And so that was very controversial for her coming back here, along with the fact that he has had ties to Russia, one of his strongest backers, up until what happened in the last week or so. So for that reason, we imagine that is going to be a major question that several senators, probably including Senator Rounds here, are going to ask her about today. And again, any moment we're waiting for her to come through as she takes this first meeting here with Senator Rounds.
So talk more about that, putting more focus on her past comments about Assad and her 2017 meeting with the dictator.
Yeah, I mean, it's, difficult to imagine that the timing of what happened in Syria helps. This is certainly the worst timing for her nomination here that we're now talking about this. And it did come as sort of a surprise. You hear from security experts, even senators here in the defense and intelligence spheres that say how rapidly the situation turned in Syria, was a surprise. And so the fact that now is the first day that she's actually coming here on Capitol Hill, that is very likely going to be, one of the biggest, if not the biggest challenge for her liability. She's going to have to, answer that. Now, we've heard from Trump transition folks that she is ready to defend that meeting and talk about her stance now versus what it was back in 2017. At the time, she was a member of the House and a Democrat. So we'll see whether that makes a difference here with senators. But obviously, the discussion about Syria, what comes next, replacing Assad, that is going to be something that happens throughout the week here. And serious questions in terms of security and stability for the region, given that this rebel group that effectively overthrew the Assad regime themselves has a lot of questions about whether they have ties still to ISIS and al-Qaeda. We know that they did. The leader of that group now, Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, talking more in moderate terms. But again, his past is one that was fraught with ties to terrorism. In fact, the U.S. still designates him as a terrorist with a bounty on his head. So the security and stability questions are obviously lingering over these meetings that she's going to have all week here on Capitol Hill.